Hey guys, welcome back to New World Carpentry Solutions. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I set up to do one of my first epoxy pours. I did try one previously with some 5-minute epoxies. It was more of an adhesive, but I was only doing coasters, so actually the epoxy pour still worked out. It was able to cure. But one thing I can say is I learned a little bit more about the types of epoxy throughout this process. A buddy of mine has actually helped me out so I can actually get a better grasp on how it actually works as far as the depths of pour and what you can actually do with whatever epoxy you're using. So I have some leftover casting epoxy from filling knot holes on the mahogany door, and I thought I can use that to kind of piece together the two leftover pieces of the cutting board. And I believe that casting epoxy can go up to 3/8 of an inch thick. I was thinking my cutting board says serving tray wouldn't be more than 3/4 of an inch. I was like, oh, 2 pours I have left over in this these 2 small bottles. I don't have enough to do this pour. First mistake, no type of measuring or volume checking. I just knew I had some epoxy. I was like, well, I got these leftover cutting boards with this nice little cathedral or skyscraper type look to it, and I wanted to pour epoxy in between it. So I started setting up a mold, and for those of you guys who are astute viewers, this is the initial planer set that I made. This one has a slight cup to it. If you look to the right hand side, it's actually lifted up off the table, so it's like a rock between the 2 corners because I actually overbuilt it. So I figured instead of letting it become firewood, try to use it and make something out of it. So I decided to use this as an epoxy mold. And the first thing you need to do or know about epoxy is that it sticks to stuff. So if you're going to use anything for a mold, you definitely want to try to do some preventative measures. One of them being lining it, if it's made of wood, is to line it with tuck tape, tie-back tape, or packing tape. Something that will allow the mold and everything that you pour your epoxy into to release. Because if you don't, it'll stick to it, and now you're playing off your initial mold off of your new pour. Don't want to go through that process. I'm blessed to never have to go through that so far. The tie-back tape has worked just fine. I am thinking about a way to make a reusable mold using the same kind of method, just using screws and then backing them out and see how many times I can get use out of it. And then anytime I have any holes that are exposed, apply more tuck tape or tie-back tape. But in this case, this process is going to be fairly simple. Well, what I thought was going to be fairly simple. I decided to use the leftover epoxy that I had. I did not go buy any more. So that was the first mistake that I did in this process because I did no type of volume checking of how much I needed. But this epoxy is a 2-part, so the only thing I have to do is make sure that I mix it evenly. So I'm using this measuring cup here to make sure that I'm pouring the same amount in there from each bottle. Then I stir it up. I'm supposed to mix it for about 5 minutes. The first pour, which is this one, I did do 5 minutes. But then when I realized that it wasn't enough to give me a decent base layer, that first popsicle stick that you see over there with the pencil mark on it, that is a depth gauge for me to measure at 3/8 of an inch. Our goal was to get at least the first layer poured today, and I'll go get the rest of the epoxy I need tomorrow because this has a 12-hour dry time. But I didn't quite have enough to get the first full layer poured, so this ended up taking me 3 different days, which I later found out that pouring at 3/8, and this right now, the wood that's in there is probably about 1 inch thick, maybe 1 1/4 inch. So I decided to actually pour all the way to the top, so I ended up needing 3 pours anyway. But because of my miscalculations and that, making sure that my first layer was actually a full 3/8 of an inch, I ended up having to do 4 pours. I will say again, at this point, those were like $20 kits. I probably could have just bought a gallon. I think a gallon of epoxy at Woodcraft is $100 or like $89 for casting. I could have bought deep pour, but again, a deep pour would only be useful for me. I already had casting epoxy from the door, from the knot holes. So in my head was, well, hey, just use what I already have, see how far it gets, and then buy more of that to finish up. I could have bought a deep pour epoxy, probably should have. It will allow me to do this in 1 pour. But again, it allowed me to get some experience with epoxy, see how it works, and it's been a fun process. I will say that this actually comes out phenomenal. I'll probably tag a picture at the very end of the video to show you guys what it looks like when I'm actually finished. And we do have some more videos on the actual pouring process as I do the further and subsequent pours. I do have some more tips that I also learned throughout this process, and I do later pick up a heat gun because you definitely want one of those. You see me here in just a second actually try with the lighter. Don't want to do that, you're gonna burn your fingers. But besides that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Sorry it was a little bit rambly. In the next subsequent videos, I'll put more detail in it and let you guys know the tips and tricks that I have learned throughout this process and the differences between the epoxies and which ones that you need to use. If you have enjoyed, let me know down in the comments. Leave me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.